Hello, welcome to Old Nerd Reads' Marvel Comics in Order. This is episode 95. This time I read Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man number 3, the February 1977 issue. Let's have a sip of Americano. Anybody who follows along knows I've got my Donald Duck mug here. It's short and squat, and it fits underneath my espresso machine. That's why I use this one all the time, because it fits under the espresso machine. It's like a little, it's like a mug slash cereal bowl. But I just recently got, well, not recently. I guess I got it for my birthday back in the summer. I got an espresso machine from my in-laws, and turned out to be one of the greatest presents ever because I love Americanos. Wanted to learn how to make them myself. Decided I needed an espresso machine. They got me one, and it's been kind of a long, slow process of figuring out which kind of grounds to use and the right combination of different types of coffees, but I finally think I finally got it. But that's why I use my little Donald Duck mug. Anyway, back to the business at hand. We've got probably a very fine copy, very fine minus copy. Got a pretty bad crease there where that was folded. Got some ticks. Back cover's not terrible. A little bit of staining, a little bit of warp. The pages, they're pretty white as far as it being, 50 years old goes. They're pretty white. But this issue I remember kind of fondly, the cover especially. Back in the 80s, I had this as a mini comic. It was, like this big compared to a regular comic. I got a set of 4 of them. I want to say that they came from some cereal or something. I was able to mail away for a set of 4 of these Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man mini comics. They weren't like all in a row or anything. There was this issue. There was an issue with a tarantula. I forget what all there was. I probably have them tucked away someplace, but I don't remember where at the moment. But this was one of them. So this cover is a fond memory for me. Now, I'm not sure who did this cover. I don't think this is Sal Buscema. But it's a cool cover. It's a really cool cover. But Lightmaster, this is Lightmaster's first appearance. And I don't know. I don't know if Lightmaster ever showed up again after this or not. But we've got our creative team has been shuffled here a little bit. As you can see, Jerry Conway just did the plot on this one. Jim Shooter actually wrote it, but we still have Sal Buscema and Mike Esposito on the art, and Glynis Wine colors, Joe Rosen letters, Archie Goodwin the editor. And when we get to the letters page, we're going to find out that next issue Archie Goodwin will be the new writer on the title. And I don't think that lasts long. I think Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, had kind of a rotating cast of writers for a little while until it got its footing. It must have been a little bit difficult coordinating. Like, now you've got this third title on top of Amazing and Marvel Team Up. You've got a third title in the Spider-Man universe coming out monthly, and you've got to coordinate them all. And Marvel was kind of a notoriously kind of a mess editorially at this time. Books were late. People were constantly jumping from one title to another. The editor-in-chief position was like a rotating door. So everything was kind of in chaos. But here we've got the guy that would bring it all together writing this one. Jim Shooter would finally get all the trains running on time, as he is famous for saying. And so next issue, Archie Goodwin's going to write it. I don't know if that's the only issue or if he only writes a couple, and then I think it goes to somebody else after that. We'll see. But for now, Sal Buscema still the penciler. Mike Esposito still the inker. The artwork in this one isn't quite as disappointing as last issue. If you watched the last episode of Old Nerd Reads' Marvel Comics in Order, I kind of dumped on the art in issue number 2 because it was a drastic drop off from issue number 1. Sal Buscema really did a nice job with the art on issue 1, and then issue 2 he kind of phoned it in. But I don't particularly blame him. Because, like I said, he was like a workhorse. Every other comic that was coming out from Marvel at this time, like pretty much he was drawing it, so he was busy. So I forgive him. I forgive him. This one a little bit better. But it seems to me like even though the art team stays the same, it's like it's almost a slightly different style every issue. Not quite the same thing every time. This one again, like the inks seem a little different this time, even though it's Mike Esposito again. I don't know. It's strange. But here we're picking up. No, we're not picking up. We're starting cold. Spider-Man's just swinging through the city. There's a gang beating up on an old immigrant man. Spidey scares him off, saves the immigrant. Another person who witnessed it said lucky she came along because Spider-Man's bad. You know, J. Jonah Jameson painting him in a bad light in the newspaper. So lots of people believe that. She thinks he's bad. Good thing I came along, scared him off before he hurt you. And the immigrant says, no, Spider-Man's a good man. But Spider-Man, in typical Spider-Man Peter Parker luck, he leaves believing that he scared the old man, and he feels like he's kind of failed, and people don't recognize that he's trying to do good, but he did make a difference this time, even though he doesn't see it, which is one of the cool things about Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Is one of the reasons people love this title so much, and Marvel in general. Here he gives a little recap on what happened in the first 2 issues with the tarantula and the kidnappings and Kraven the Hunter. Here's where we pick up after what happened last issue. The tarantula has been captured along with one of the people that he kidnapped from Empire State University. Tarantula breaks out, and here we have Lightmaster. Lightmaster's first appearance. He knocks the tarantula out, and he takes off. So the Lightmaster has been behind this all along. I don't think we get an origin of how he became Lightmaster, other than he was, I'll save that for when we get to it. Let's not spoil it yet. Spider-Man gets home anyway, and Flash and Betty are in his apartment. Is it Betty? What the heck is her name? Gloria. Flash and Gloria are in his apartment listening to records, trying to wake him up because they think he's in his bedroom asleep. He left the door unlocked, so he has to sneak past them and then change into his sleeping clothes and act like he just woke up. And Flash invites him out for dinner. And they go to this restaurant, and Flash spots this waitress, Shashan. And we don't really get an explanation, but she's surprised to see him. He's surprised to see her. And she runs. And this really screws up dinner. The owner of the restaurant, this hoity-toity, artsy-fartsy owner of the restaurant, says you got to leave because you're causing problems. They do. Flash just wants to be alone. He just walks off on his own. So something about this Shashan character. I remember her now that I've been reintroduced after all these years, but it's been a long time since I thought about that character. It was like his girlfriend from Vietnam, because he was a Vietnam vet, I think. But we'll find out, I guess, as we read more of these. But Peter, he deserts Gloria because he's got to go be Spider-Man. He spotted something, light. He saw a flash of light in City Hall, and goes in to investigate. And here's Lightmaster. Lightmaster is trying to kill or trying to kidnap someone again. And Spider-Man fights Lightmaster for the first time, and realizes that Lightmaster's pretty powerful, and he doesn't really stand a chance against him at the moment. He tries to throw a spider tracer at him, won't stick. He's all blinded from Lightmaster flashing him, not like that, but with bright light. And then here's all these jerks down in the street seeing Spider-Man on the ledge of City Hall, telling him to jump. Oh, people, they're so nice. But anyways, Pete Pete's starting to recognize a pattern here between the Empire State University kidnappings and the City Hall kidnapping. So he goes to Joe Robertson. He's got his sunglasses on because his eyes got hurt from Lightmaster. And Joe pulls out some files for Peter to look at, gives Pete an idea, changes back into Spider-Man, follows up on a clue that he found, busts into this townhouse, and it's Dr. Lansky, the professor, the college professor from Empire State University that got kidnapped at the very beginning of issue 1 of Spectacular Spider-Man. He's Lightmaster. He's been behind this all along. He staged his own kidnapping. He's doing it to get funding from the city and to get rid of these people who were also administrators at Empire State University who were stopping Professor Lansky's department from getting funding. So he's getting rid of them so that the funding can come to the school. Like he believes he's doing this for the school, but he's kind of doing it for himself. He's a villain. Here's a great full page spread of Times Square and a fight between Lightmaster and Spidey high above. Just blasted some bricks off that building. That's going to fall down and ruin somebody's day on the street. But we're wrapping this issue up pretty quick. I don't know if they planned on making this storyline last a little longer and then Jerry Conway left the book. I'm not sure what the story is, why Jerry Conway isn't staying on the book, but it kind of feels like since he plotted this issue and Jim Shooter wrote the script, like almost feels like here's the idea I had. I got to go by. Jim Shooter had to like write it up real quick in this issue, and it feels like it might have gone on a little longer had Jerry Conway stayed, but who knows? But Spider-Man remembers that last issue when he was fighting Kraven, he got Kraven to electrocute himself. So he has the same idea with Lightmaster. He remembers he read a treatise written by Dr. Lansky, aka Lightmaster, right? The college professor, theoretical physics. He remembers that solid light, is a conductor. So he has Lightmaster blast this control board in the theater, high voltage control board, and barbecues himself just like Kraven did at the end of the previous issue. And he shuts the lights out in the whole city. But Peter knew that the Lightmaster suit would insulate Dr. Lansky and not kill him, I guess. And Dr. Lansky's carted away to the hospital, and that's the end. And next issue, we get the Vulture. And yeah, it just feels kind of like we had to wrap this up quick because next issue we're getting a new creative team kind of thing. It's just a guess. Let me see. There was something interesting here on the letters page, and I wanted to show. Oh, maybe it's here. Oh yeah, this guy, this person wrote in a letter saying that this new title, this Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man, is overexposure. It's going to ruin Spider-Man. You're going to see that it's just going to dilute Spider-Man too much. The quality is going to go down. It's going to be a big failure. So that's basically his letter, and he's responded to that we have to disagree with you. And it looks like most of Marveldom Assembled does also. And that's true. Like this title went on to 250 issues or so before it was not really canceled, but they did that whole event where they restarted Amazing and Spectacular. They restarted them. And we got another, even though Web of Spider-Man's basically, like, Marvel Team Up ended, then Web of Spider-Man started, so Web of Spider-Man's kind of just Marvel Team Up renamed without the team-ups. So they had 3 titles, and then in the late 80s, they got the 4th McFarlane title, and Marvel Tales reprinted stuff, and there was all kinds of Spider-Man happening, and he was guest starring and everything. Like, nope, everybody loved Spidey, so there was always room for more Spidey, it seems like. So this guy was way off base. And here we have a little blurb about the new creative team. Let's see. Just last week, lively Len Wein, writer of Amazing Spider-Man, got together with Archie Goodwin, editor-in-chief of Marvel, who takes over the writing reins of Peter Parker next issue, and Chris Claremont, Marvel Team-Up's new scribe, to hash out Spidey's life for the next several months. So that's really cool. All the writers of the 3 titles getting together to talk about, the direction it's going to be taking and how to keep continuity good. And yeah, that's the kind of thing that made these Marvel comics really, really entertaining and selling really well. So yeah. If you like that kind of thing, I'm reading my Marvel comics in order, just like the title implies. My collection of Marvel comics basically starts in 1974, and that's where this series started. I'm reading them in publishing date order from my collection, and doing a video on each one. So if that sounds cool, please subscribe for more, because I'm going to keep right on trucking through my collection, reading them in order, and doing a video. So if you like that, stick around, subscribe, tell a friend, share my video, leave a like, comment, and I appreciate watching, and I'll see you next time.